All right, we are back with State of the Franchise. As you can see here, it's your boy, uh, your commissioner, your podcast host, and yeah, tough season for me. Didn't make the playoffs. That doesn't happen too often. So I think it's only the second time I didn't make the playoffs. So tough rebuilding year for me. I made a little run at it, but I feel good about my team, and we're gonna kind of get into that now. I'm gonna pull out my violin real quick because me and Rashid were in a win and in game in week 14 last year. It was Jets versus Dolphins, and the Jets were up by three, and Devontae Adams caught a pass, and with a couple, like I think a minute left, and if he just stayed in bounds, clock would have ran out, and I would have won the game. He steps out of bounds, whatever, more shit happens. Miami gets the ball back. Rashid had Jason Sanders and Jonnu Smith. Jason Sanders hits a 50-yard field goal to tie the game, pushing it to overtime, giving Rashid 5 points. Jonnu Smith had 0 points up until that point, finished the game with 11, and I think I lost to Rashid by less than 10 points. So there's my soap opera. Rashid would not even be champion right now if it wasn't for Devontae fucking Adams stepping out of bounds, but that's okay. So there's my little soapbox. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, Tim hasn't even got a word in yet, and I'm already going on a tangent. Hey, Tim.
Yeah, just to pull the curtain back a little bit. I didn't know any of this was coming. It sounds like you prepped for this on your ride back home today. This is pretty sad that you're remembering it, but let's rock and roll.
No, I think about it once a week. All right. So history. I got the one title in 2020 thanks to the Bull, Derrick Henry, and Stephon Diggs. Got my 100th win all time last year. Second to only Tim, who has 101 wins. Most points all time by a decent margin. Kevin's making a little run at it. Three division titles, and then, as I was saying last year, 6-8. Should have been 7-7 if it wasn't for Devontae Adams.
Go back. Can you go back?
I
What's the shirt in that picture?
think it's like a Boston Bruins shirt.
There he is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was when we went hiking up in Sugar Bush.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Any comment on my decorated history?
Let's go. No, no, no.
All right, running backs. You want to say how you feel about my running backs, or you want me to kick it off?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to start, you weren't going to keep Chase Brown last year. I told you to keep him, so good call by me. Looking pretty good.
You know,
Top 10.
you say that, but I was on the I had like two or three guys I was thinking about, and you know what? I was just trying to make conversation with my friend, being like, "Hey, what do you think?" And I would think I was gonna keep Chase Brown regardless, but I agree. You did kind of push me towards that direction, so thank you.
Okay, hey, that's all I need. Just a little bit of credit. All right, so Bucky Irving, we both have him as a purple. This was like a later pick by you too, right?
I want to say fourth round, maybe. He was
Yeah, it's
definitely like
crazy.
after all, like there was like initial wave of rookie running backs, and he was probably a round or two later.
I feel like you had a couple of these last year where you had a couple of big hits on draft picks.
Yeah,
But Bucky, oh, good.
I was gonna say, yeah, I had a few misses early, so it was nice to have some hits later on.
Bucky as a purple, and then we got Chase Brown. You and I are split, purple and green. Omari and Hampton, which is going to be 102. We both have him as a purple. And then Audric Estime, Tajay Spears, I think both pretty
Nobody's.
irrelevant players. Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe Chase Brown because we're split on him. Let's talk about it. So you had him as a green, so top 20. I have him as a purple, so that fringe. I think
yep,
my purple is more so that I think he's going to be good this year. I don't know what happens in the following years to come, and maybe that's reflective of your green.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. And honestly, I was even a little more down on him up until like a few days ago, where I think the OC of the Bengals came out and said he's going to be like a focal point. And I mean, I think they brought in like a fifth or sixth round pick. They brought back Zach Moss. I was nervous that they were going to bring in like a Najee Harris or like some other guy to like kind of compete. But it seems like they're kind of just going to ride him out this year. So I agree. I think Green might be a little. I think Green, he's definitely going to be a top 20 running back if he stays healthy. He's going to get the bulk of the carries. Um, I just don't see him getting that top 10 again. But I mean, I don't know. The way that Bengals offense moves, I could be kind of underselling it a little bit. And you're right with the fact that I don't see him being the long-term play there in Cincinnati. gives me a little bit of pause to put him higher. But if I had to redo it right now, I think I would put him actually at like a teal at least.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, we had him at pink last year, so I think I looked back and we both had him at pink, so we both kind of saw the top 20 upside. So good job by us, I guess, for seeing that kind of upside and him kind of going up from there. Yeah, like you said, Bucky Irving, I feel great about him. I think they didn't bring too much competition, if any. I think it's just what's the guy's name behind not even um
White.
not even Rashard White. There's another guy behind him that looks good.
Oh,
Sean
yeah, yeah.
something. Sean Tucker. So I mean, they have three guys there, but I mean, Bucky Irving, he kind of took control of that backfield last year. Um, Hampton, I feel great about, especially with Najee having the unfortunate firework accident. It seems like he's going to be slow in camp, so Hampton looks like he's going to get the first crack at first team right away. I was kind of thinking that he might be more of a week 6 or 7 kind of takes over the backfield, but if he can come out right away and be like the main guy there, that would be a big boost for my team because I mean, you can see like beside after that, my running backs are pretty stinky. So I was really relying heavy on Irving and Chase Brown.
Yeah.
Um, I was kind of feeling good about Estime if like Estime and RJ Harvey would be like the 1-2 punch, but obviously Denver signed J.K. Dobbins pretty like a month ago. So I think that's kind of out the window. And then I've been reading good things about Tajay Spears, but I think it's just camp talk where they're never going to talk down on their guys. They're always going to talk their guys up.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think running back, I should be looking to add another piece, like another backup running back. You agree with that?
Maybe you find something a little later in the draft. I mean, we'll get to it shortly, but you got a lot of capital that you can play with.
Yeah, and it's gonna be how's the draft board play out? Like, can I grab someone at 1.07? Do I trade like some second round picks and try to get like an established guy? I would love to bring David Montgomery back to the squad, but Hermes has been holding strong on him. We'll see once the draft rolls around, but um, yeah, feel pretty good about my running backs. Could be better, but I think they a step behind the next position group that we're going to talk about, which probably is a pretty good transition to my wide receivers, and I think there's teams that have better wide receivers, but I would put my wide receiving group up there with the rest of the league. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think that this is a solid crew that you got. Don't love Zay Flowers as the fourth, but overall, I think you got some upside here, especially with like Jalen McMillan and Shakir.
Yeah, that's definitely where I disagree. I can honestly see. I think I'm underselling Zay as a green. The way he moves on the field. This is going to be sound ridiculous, but like the way he moves almost reminds me of how Antonio Brown kind of got off to a slow start his first 2 or 3 years and kind of came into his own by year 4 and 5. There was a lot of missed opportunities with Lamar and Zay. Like a lot of times he was kind of just missing him in the middle of the field. So they definitely designed a lot of plays to Zay. So I feel pretty comfortable with him as my four, honestly, because I love T, I love Nico, and obviously love Brian Thomas. So.
Okay,
Um,
do you ever feel like Zay is going to be more than like 1,000 yards and a handful of touchdowns? Because I don't. I mean,
I
clearly,
I could see him being a 1,200 yard guy for sure.
okay.
And
Antonio
that's
Brown was like 2,000.
yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean. I meant more so like Antonio Brown's first 2 or 3 years. I think
Mm,
wasn't even cracking 1,000 yards. And just the way he kind of moves and gets open reminds me of Antonio Brown a little bit. I know I'm very high on him. I've been high on him. So yeah, we'll see. This is definitely a big year for him. It's only year 3 for him. So and he definitely improved from his rookie year last year. So I'm expecting good things from him. And if it doesn't pan out, I still feel good about my three other guys. And like you said, I can kind of slide Shakur into that fourth spot if he's a little slow. Um, any reason you don't have Brian Thomas and Nico as Blues? You know, I think they were both top 10 at the position even last year. I know Nico got hurt, but he was the wide receiver one last year before he got hurt, and that was 7, 8 weeks in. Um, what's holding you back from putting those guys as blue chips?
yeah, maybe Nico I should have up as a blue. I think BTJ, I got to see another year of him producing.
Yep.
Obviously, I still think purple is pretty high, and
Yeah.
BTJ looked really good last year, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and them adding Travis Hunter and Dwamie Brown in free agency. He was definitely just like the focal point last
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
Brian
yeah.
Thomas. So there's definitely he probably maybe doesn't have as many targets next year. Um, but he definitely came into his own the second half of the year. So I definitely feel good about him going forward. As not obviously you're not saying that you're saying differently. Purple, like you said, is still high praise.
How do you
Um,
feel about Higgins staying in Cincinnati?
I mean, I don't know. I was going back and forth with it because, like, if he goes to like some team, like let's say Carolina, and as much as like we're a little bit higher on Bryce Young this year, he's probably not getting as many targets as he is in Cincinnati, where that they really didn't add anything to the defense. So I'd expect them to be averaging like 30 points a game still, Cincinnati,
Yeah,
and as great as Chase is, like it seems like Burrow likes to find Higgins in the red zone a little bit more often. So I think they complement each other perfectly, and I'm glad that he got paid, and it seems like they're going to use him and continue to use him going forward. It's just health with him. I mean, every time he's healthy, he's producing at top 15 level. But I think he's missed a handful of games every single season. So we'll see.
yeah.
And I feel good about Shakur. He just got paid as well. I think a 4-year deal. Um, and I think he's Josh Allen's safety blanket more than anything. And he had a couple monster games last year too. So I don't know. I think he's a perfect second flex spot guy where I can count on him to get 10 points for me.
And Jalen McMillan, he had some games right at the end of last year where he really popped up. I'm
Yeah.
trying to pull up some of his stats from last
I
year.
want to say he had like at least 6 to 8 touchdowns last year. Like there was a 4 or 5 game stretch where he was scoring every game. I think obviously it was once
Yeah,
Godwin got hurt. So go ahead if you have it.
no, so I think this is week 18, 17, 16, and 15 here. He had a total of 5 touchdowns and like 200 plus yards, like 250 plus yards.
Yeah, so they were designing plays for him. The only reason I don't have him higher is because they went out and drafted Ibuka in the first round, which I get. Maybe they're like, all right, Evans and Godwin are older. They're kind of banged up. These two guys slide into that Evans and Godwin role in a few years. But I don't know. They signed Godwin to like a 3-year deal and gave him some pretty good money. I know he's coming off the injury, but still, it makes me think that they fully don't fully trust McMillan. So I'm a little more hesitant. I was pretty excited about him towards the end of the season, but I've definitely tempered those expectations. Um, and same
And
thing. We'll talk about it. I got the picks. I'm hoping to add another receiver to kind of complement these guys.
Godwin's coming off, or I think he's starting on the pup, right? I think I just
Godwin.
saw that today. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think he ended up having like a second surgery or something. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah, he might be more involved than I'm thinking early in the season. So yeah, I feel good about my receivers. There's definitely a few teams that have more star-studded at the top, but I would put them up against a lot of teams. All right, quarterbacks and tight ends. I probably could have left the trash can here from Carney's. Definitely my weakest spot. Um, I'm a little bit. I'm kind of confident with Caleb Williams this year. I don't know why. It's like I'm tempering the expectations, but at the same time, um, he's got all the tools. And Ben Johnson, this is gonna. I mean, I think Matt Eberflus was just he was dealt such a bad hand last year, and he didn't help himself. He held the ball way too long at times. But if anyone's gonna be able to figure out, it seems like it's gonna be Ben Johnson.
Yeah, revamped O line. I think they
Yep.
have plenty of weapons. And you're right, they got Ben Johnson. Could see him emerge, but I don't know. Something stinks about it, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, something about the way he paints his fingernails, right?
Okay, that's not what I'm saying. Let's not throw that out there.
And then I mean feel pretty safe with Herbert too if things go wrong. I feel like Herbert's a guy that can get me like he's not going to pop off, but I think he's going to get me like 16, 17, 18 points a week. I definitely need more to be a true contender from the quarterback position, but hopefully these two guys can give me enough. And I've seen a few clips from Richardson. He looks like he's back, so I'm gonna hold on to that too. I enlist him. And then my tight ends, I'm actually Green might have been underselling it. I'm pretty high on Tucker Kraft this year. Sadly,
Why? Why?
I just feel like Green Bay really didn't utilize him enough last year, and LaFleur's come out and said they're going to get him the ball more. He was first in yards after catch for tight ends, which is pretty amazing for them. He didn't really have a ton of catches either, so the fact that he can break tackles, I think he was first or second in forced missed tackles. They started using him as like their tush push guy down the stretch. So if he can even just swindle a couple rushing touchdowns at the goal line. That would be amazing. Kincaid really disappointed me last year. I think we actually both had him at purple going into last season, and he was coming off like an 900 yard rookie year. Um, and they had a lot of vacated targets, and he just did not capitalize whatsoever. Um, and then I
Is
know Benson,
is
that's your guy.
is Kincaid Kyle Pitts 2.0?
Maybe. Yeah, he could be a Jag. He could definitely be a Jag, which is a little unfortunate. And I know before we flip off this slide, this is actually a little callback. This photo that photo is Luke Musgrave. There- I threw out a little GIF last year, and I accidentally put Luke Musgrave over Tucker Kraft. So I'll be interested to see who noticed that right away. I feel like T Don's called it out last time, so not Tucker Kraft.
Feel like you didn't spend enough time on Ben Sennett.
Go ahead. I mean, what is he the next Trey McBride because he was behind Zach Ertz for a couple years before he broke out?
No, I mean I liked him last year. Foolishly dropped him. Dropped a lot of guys I wish I didn't last year. But I think he has a chance to have a role as Zach Ertz gets older and he's with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
So he's black right now, but I could see that changing in the future.
Second round draft capital?
I think second or third round.
Yeah. Who do you think is my if I don't make any trades, who's my starting quarterback week 14?
Probably Herbert,
Yeah.
maybe Caleb Williams. I don't know. Something about him.
Something about him.
Um, Starting tight end, Sennett.
No. Tucker
I don't
Kraft is
know.
gonna surprise some people this year.
Okay. All right.
Um yeah, I agree. I think Herbert's they another year with Harbaugh, I think he'll kind of open him up a little bit more. They're obviously committed to that running game, but at times he's gonna have to make plays and um I think it's time that Herbert's got to take that kind of next step and start winning some games. He's 27 now. I feel like people always talk about him as a top 10 quarterback, but he just has those moments where he kind of folds. So we'll see.
Is it possible that we get like Alex Smith version of Herbert though, where he's just like an elite game manager? Obviously, he's better than Smith,
Yeah,
but we're seeing like 20 attempts, 15, 16 completions, a couple touchdowns, and a couple hundred yards.
180 yards. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because he has all the tools. I mean, obviously their receiving core wasn't great last year. Not that it got like much better, but they added that Trey Harris kid.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see. Lad's gonna hopefully take another step. But yeah, I agree with that. That he's gonna be more of a elite game manager versus
Yeah.
a guy that's gonna come out and throw for like 300 yards every week. Uh, in my draft picks, this is probably I'm definitely still kind of in the midst of a semi-contend, semi-rebuild. I like a lot of rosters better than mine right now, but I think if I hit on a few more draft picks, I can kind of get up. I have a young team right now. Maybe in a year or two, I can kind of get up and be one of those top teams. I mean, 1.02, I know we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but I mean, if Carney drafts Genty, I'm drafting Hampton, so we kind of noted that. At 1.07, I know a lot of people are looking for running backs. I want a running back. I might try to make a move if Tet starts to slip a little bit, just because, I mean, I don't know, top 10 draft capital. I think he looks like a big body receiver. And then I got three second round picks at the top, hoping to just grab another receiver, maybe another running back, maybe one of the tight ends, and kind of go from there. If I don't like how the board's fallen, I might try to make a trade for a more established guy, but that'll probably be a draft day trade more than anything.
5 picks in the top 15.
Yeah,
It's a
yep.
lot.
So,
So you're done at that point, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I didn't even have a third round pick. So like it wouldn't have even mattered. But yeah, um, I'll be done after that. So I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I might trade a few to might try to trade up, might try to get an established guys. So I don't know. And then I have Ryan's pick, first round pick next year, so I can always kind of throw that in as incentives as well. Um, so I got some options. I'm hoping to get a few young guys and maybe compete in a couple years versus competing this year.
What was that trade? I know that you got Brooks. I think you traded Kamara. What else was a part of that trade for Ryan?
Yeah, I can give you the breakdown of a few of them. Yep, that one was Kamara and Ayuk. Ayuk was the other piece in there, which I mean, it looks like he's not going to be ready for training camp, but I still think he's a stud. He didn't look great last year, so I was okay with it. But his rookie year, um, he was on my team for a while, so that one was hard to part with. So it was Ayuk and Kamara for the two first round picks, one this year, one next year, John Brooks and Xavier Legette. Which I mean, Legette looked okay at some points, but they drafted Ted in the top 10, so I don't think they're super confident in him.
Yeah.
Um, so I think Kamara's going to be good this year. Don't get me wrong, but I don't regret getting a couple first rounders for him. I don't know if I'd be able to. I think if Ryan tried to shop Kamara right now, I don't think he's getting two first, but who
No.
knows? And then from Tyler, I traded Dobbins, which at first looked like I really won that trade, but I actually do think Dobbins is going to come out and be the lead back in there in Denver. So I think he actually got a starting running back out of it, so it's not too bad of a trade for him. And then I actually forget. Oh no, I don't. And I trade Jalen Warren
Yeah.
for the other second to Carney. Which
Do
again,
you
I mean,
think
I could use a fourth running back right now. So maybe if I had Dobbins or Jalen, I'd feel a little bit better. But I mean, like I said, I'm gonna draft some young guys and hopefully compete in a year or two.
you think that the Denver backfield is going to be more like Ingram and Kamara in Kamara's rookie year?
Yeah, that's exactly
Because
what I
that's what I
think.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they're going to use Harvey a lot. I mean, they're definitely going to use them both. I could see like a 50-50 snap share, and I think Harvey's going to be like maybe 500, 600 yards receiving, along with 500, 600 yards rushing.
Yeah.
That's why when I
Yeah.
said not to swing this to gambling, that's why I kind of like that under 700 yards because I think he's going to get like a lot more receptions and maybe get 500,
Gotcha.
600 rushing yards and 500, 600 receiving yards as well. Um, so I still love Harvey. I just think that Dobbins is going to be the early down back, and if they get ahead in games, which they should with their defense and stuff, like they might just ride Dobbins out in the second half. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Got a lot of picks. Um, oh yeah, so you're the GM. So obviously it's my team. I kind of told you how I feel about my team. Like, what if you had the control of my team? Where's some of the moves, or what would you do?
Go back to the draft capital. All right. So I would take 107 and then I try to package one of these second round picks and I just move up to 104 and get Tet. I wouldn't play the game
Yeah.
of waiting. And if he comes to me at 6, I'm going to take him. So there's your incentive
Wow.
to there's
Wow.
your incentive. You got to either move up to 104 or move up to 105. So I would definitely consider that.
Wow.
Um, it's tough to. Do you have like a fourth or a fifth round pick?
Nope.
No. Wow.
Well, I might, but the only thing is I already have 20 guys in my roster, so I can only make five. Oh yeah, I think I do have fourth. So if I do package a couple, I think I would have like a fourth or fifth round pick to draft a fifth guy.
Okay. I would give up hope on Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, draw that. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, you got to. You got to. No, but 201, I feel like that is like a Cam Scatabo. Scatabo. I feel like
Yeah,
you got to take a shot on him.
I'm not
Uh,
that high on him, but
no,
I mean, I want to give out my whole draft strategy and then get cucked, but I do hope. I shouldn't even say that because there's enough tight ends to go around. I do hope Loveland or Warren fall to me at 201.
I think honestly, Jack, I think both are going to be there at 201.
I agree. Just I'm probably taking one of those guys in the
Yeah.
in the second round, just because like I mean, like I said, I'm high on Tucker Craft, but I could see him being a Jag as well. And I mean, grabbing one of these tight ends, I think would kind of, and if one of them pops off, would be huge. And then I drafting one of those like second tier wide receivers with the 2.03, like maybe a Jaden Higgins or a Trey
Yep.
Harris or one of those guys.
Kyle
Um,
Williams.
Kyle Williams. So I think I'm in a good spot where yeah, I probably could go get Tet. Um, I don't know, Judkins is gonna be a wild card. I think last time we talked, I was like, oh, I'll still take Judkins, but I don't know. The more I read about it, like he's not signed. It doesn't seem like Cleveland's in any rush to sign him,
Yep.
so I'm starting to get cold feet on him. If he's there at 1.07, I don't know if I'm taking him.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a dicey one. I think
Yeah,
it's tough too because Harvey is. I mean, we talked about him. I think we both like him, but he's older, and that's like the tough piece to juggle. Is do you want to take the shot with Judkins where he's a clear
he's only
one in that
21.
backfield?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he's only 21 years old, so like I mean obviously seems like he's a piece of shit, but like I mean
yeah,
if he even if he has to sit out a year, he's still only 22 going into next year. It's tough. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know what Tyler's gonna do. Tyler's kind of Tyler texts me a few times. He's kind of getting in my head about he's giving me no signals. Um, so I can see him taking Ted. I can see him trying to take Travion. I can see him doing whatever. I don't know. So yeah, I like that. What about the players in my roster? I did make an offer to Carney. I offered Caleb Williams, kind of a throw in. I offered my 1.07, a 2026 first for Josh Allen. And he just didn't respond. But I probably would throw
way
it
to put him
another.
on
I
blast.
I probably would throw it in a second too, but I was hoping to get a little back and forth. Um, so I don't know. I don't want to like sell the house and then like the rest of my team just be okay. But if I were to get like a top quarterback, I think I could get into that top 4 or 5 teams in the league.
Yeah, no, I think if you could somehow package like one or two of these second round picks, Caleb Williams and something else to get in there, I don't even know that a first is needed with Carney. Um,
No, I mean Josh Allen's like the number one asset. I
he's
feel
getting
like
older though,
he is. He
and how
is.
long
Maybe
is
he's
he
not
going to
going to run
be?
the.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you talked me out of it. Yeah, Carney prices dropping. No, I think I think I'm gonna try and make moves on draft day because I don't know, people will have the draft fever, like just want to make picks, and I might be able to drop some of these picks off for some established guys. Um, so yeah, we'll see. I feel good about my skill position guys for now, and kind of just letting them grow.
yeah. No, I think they hit a lot of picks last year, and I think they have a lot of capital right now to do a lot of damage here this year.
Give me the record prediction.
What do we got? 14 games in our season, right?
Yep.
10-4.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they got a really good wide receiver core, and I think you're going to get a running back or two here that are pretty good.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of depth in this year's draft. And the fact that you have three first round, or excuse me, three second round picks, almost all back to back, I think you're
Yeah.
going to get three studs.
Right. Yeah. If I go 3 for 5 on the picks, I'm looking pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see. Like you say, if I have one, I mean, you can say with anyone with injuries, but if I have one or two injuries to my running backs, I'm kind of screwed. But I mean, you can kind of say that with any team. Um, so yeah, I was gonna say 8 and 6. So you're giving me a couple extra, but I will take it. Um, yeah. Any closing thoughts?
No, that's it on my end, boss.
Yeah, yeah. Give us suggestions, guys. Anything we can add to this? We're gonna add contracts at some point. Honestly, going through mine, I have a lot of young guys, so a lot of them are just on rookie deals right now. I think Nico Collins and T. Higgins were the only ones that just got some contracts in the last couple of years. Shakur too, we talked about. So there wasn't a ton of useful information, but yeah, give us a suggestion. Someone suggested having the tier list down below. So shout out Kev. So yeah, you guys aren't just staring at colors and at least kind of know what the colors are signify, which we have explained it, but um, definitely makes sense.
Once or twice.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for my team. I think next up is Hermes. That should be a fun one. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right.